Hello! Today we have the pleasure of introducing a fantastic boat at the leading edge of market innovation, Jeanneau's Mary Fisher 1095. If you remember, just 2 years ago, Jeanneau launched the Mary Fisher 895. It replaced the superb Mary Fisher 855 and opened a new pathway for the market segment with 2 closed cabins and outboard motors. This time, with the Mary Fisher 1095, Jeanneau forged ahead, increased the size for greater cruising comfort, but maintained the outboard motors. So it was with the combined experience of the 895 and the 855, and thanks to the great customer feedback we've received, that we were able to develop the Mary Fisher 1095. Many of our customers wanted to continue with outboard motors because they are reliable and easy to use. Their use is a trend in this market segment. To accommodate the outboards, we developed a new and specific hull because it's a real challenge to make a large outboard motorboat that is comfortable. We conducted a long series of tank tests in designing the hull. The results are beyond our expectations. The boat works very well with 2 300 horsepower motors, but it also works very well with 2 250 horsepower motors. Maximum speeds are around 37 knots, but the boat is also able to cruise more slowly, in comfort, planing at 16 to 17 knots. But above all, it has the ability to remain level and therefore is easy to handle at all speeds. We can accelerate, slow down, and accelerate again without pushing the motors too hard. Now we'd like to invite you to discover the boat's interior. Access on board is very easy. One can come aboard aft via the large platform, here, which is flush with the cockpit, and made secure by this handrail that separates the platform from the outboard motors. It is also very useful when climbing the swimming ladder. Access on board is also possible amidships, thanks to this cutout door. Very convenient depending on your docking configuration. For example, when you are moored along a dock, or when you are moored along a smaller pier. This side gate greatly facilitates boarding and disembarking. So we obviously find all the Mary Fisher line DNA in this boat, including the very large and welcoming Cockpit Saloon. It is possible to have a large teak table here to seat many guests at lunchtime. It is also possible to transform the saloon into a large sun deck. To do this, simply remove the table, install this very lightweight aluminum support. It sets in here and is supported by both seats. And then just add the cushions, and you have a very big sun deck. This Mary Fisher 1095 also has an aft port-side access door. It's this backrest, here, that opens. If the mooring configuration requires port-side access, this makes it possible to disembark using the port-side platform. This bench is mounted on rails and slides forward to optimize space. When the motors are lowered, the space is at its largest. But when the engines are raised, a usable cockpit remains. The access door remains functional when the bench is moved forward. The Cockpit Saloon connects directly with the interior. Movement is direct between the aft cockpit and the galley, for example, which is located here to starboard. To open the passage, there is a 3-section sliding door. The 3-section door allows for fluid access and excellent ventilation between these 2 spaces. On the port side, there is a comfortable saloon with 2 face-to-face benches and a folding table. The interesting thing about the folding table is that it allows for this bench to face forward. The ventilation on this boat is excellent. There are large windows with excellent visibility. This large window opens and really lets the outside in, especially when in the co-pilot seat. There are also 2 sliding roof panels and a side door next to the helm. The cockpit is located here to starboard. There is an adjustable steering wheel, all the instrumentation, a large 12-inch Garmin, the engine gauges, the throttle, and joystick to control the flaps. Automatic zip wake type flaps are an option for fully automatic operation. Here there are standard flaps by Lenco. The boost thruster control, or bow thruster, which is very convenient for a boat this size. But above all, you will notice the pilot has this side door, which makes for great ventilation while cruising, and also provides the pilot with very easy access to the exterior, for example during docking maneuvers. Access forward is really easy and very safe, with a really flat deck for safely getting around on board. The bow rail is high to facilitate access to the foredeck, the sundeck, and the anchor well. The sundeck has adjustable back supports that are really very comfortable to use. They are perfect for reading. Of course, the sundeck can be fitted with an extra cushion to make the sundeck as big as possible. The pulpit, as you can see, is open. You can just undo this line and have excellent access forward. It is possible to complete the foredeck with an optional bowsprit, that is to say, a platform in stainless steel and wood that goes out over the anchor. Here we have the anchor well hatch. There is a remote control to operate the electric windlass. Just behind, there is this nice locker that is used to stow the mooring lines and fenders. The first thing that hits you when looking around the Mary Fisher 1095 is the amount of storage on board. There is a storage locker here, located under the cockpit, in the center of the boat, with the fuel tanks on each side, both 400 liters. It is a very deep hold. There is even a ladder to facilitate access. There is a lot of storage inside as well. For example, these cupboards located here, above the galley, the lower cupboards in the galley. There is also a storage locker here, located beneath the seat. And here again, typical for Jeanneau, a storage locker located here under the floor, which is really useful for storing equipment. It is also a space where one of the 3 optional air conditioning units can be installed, for a total of 2,800 BTUs. On this boat there is one unique feature for a boat of this size, which is about 33 feet. There are 3 cabins. An owner's cabin located forward, a second cabin located here to port, and finally a third cabin that can also serve as a storage space. It is in this third cabin, for example, that a second, optional, 80-liter refrigerator can be installed. Coming back to the storage, there is a lot in the owner's cabin with optional storage above and on each side of the berth. Always very useful. These cupboards are located just above the large hull windows, which provide excellent visibility. In addition to a wardrobe located to starboard, there is a very large storage locker located here under the berth. And finally, something really remarkable on the 1095. This beautiful head with a sink, a separate toilet, and especially a very nice shower equipped with a seat. Just as with the owner's cabin, the second and third cabins have excellent natural light, with skylights in the ceiling and very large hull windows with a view of the sea. As you can see, this Jeanneau Mary Fisher 1095 brings a lot of innovation to this class of boats. A real cruiser with 3 cabins, a beautiful head, and outboard motors with really fantastic handling. To learn more, we invite you to come and discover this boat in person at a boat show or by contacting your nearest Jeanneau dealer.